The report before the budget that shows the truth. The complete story of the economic survey. Just one day before the budget, a thick report is tabled in Parliament. Cameras are rolling, newspaper headlines are being decided, and movement begins in the stock market. But in the mind of the common person, fear and curiosity walk together. If this report shows bad conditions, then what will happen in tomorrow's budget? This is that moment when a single document stands carrying within it the hopes and anxieties of the entire country. The name of this report is the Economic Survey of India. Why does it come before the budget? And what is written in it that the government, parliament, investors, and ordinary people all look at it so intently? If we understand the economic survey in simple words, it is the mirror of the country's economy from the government side. Just like at the end of the year, we sit at home and take stock. How much we earned, how much expenses increased, whether debt went down or rose. Similarly, at the national level, this report tells us how India's economic health has been over the past year. The only difference is that here the numbers are in lakhs and crores, and the impact falls on the lives of 140 crore people. Every year, when the finance minister presents the economic survey in Parliament before the budget, it is actually a signal. The decisions taken tomorrow will not be in the air, but will be based on the reality recorded in this report. That is why the economic survey is called the backbone of the budget. Without understanding it, understanding the budget remains incomplete. The report first talks about growth, meaning how much the country's GDP has grown, whether the pace was fast or slow. If growth looks strong, the government gets a little freedom to increase spending. But if growth is weak, caution shows up in the budget. This is where the game of fear and hope begins. Investors judge from this whether the economy will remain in expansion mode in the coming year or move into survival mode. The economic survey does not just praise or criticize growth, it explains where this growth came from. How much agriculture contributed, how much the industrial wheel turned, and how much strength the services sector showed. In a country like India, where the livelihood of crores of people is linked to agriculture, the survey keeps a special eye on this sector. How the monsoon was, whether crop production increased or fell, whether there is pressure on farmers' incomes. All this comes out through this report. Then comes inflation. Inflation is that word which makes the common person's pocket shiver the moment it is heard. Milk, vegetables, gas cylinders, petrol. The condition of everything is recorded in the economic survey. If inflation appears under control, the government breathes a sigh of relief. But if the numbers look worrying, then the budget has to look for room for steps like tax cuts or subsidies. Employment. This is perhaps the most sensitive issue. The economic survey also presents a picture of whether job opportunities increased or not, how many formal jobs were created, and what happened to the informal sector. The impact of the startup ecosystem, the manufacturing push, and PLI schemes also comes together here. The government often tries to show the impact of its reforms through this report. Many people ask, who actually writes the economic survey? This is not a political speech. The responsibility of preparing it lies with the chief economic advisor of the finance ministry and their team. This includes economists, statisticians, and policy experts. They collect data throughout the year from the RBI, World Bank, IMF, NSSO, and different ministries. That is why this report is not just the government's viewpoint, but a comprehensive picture built on data. This is also why, at times, the economic survey shows uncomfortable truths even to the government. If there has been a policy failure somewhere, or if the pace of reform in any sector has been slow, that too gets recorded. This is its credibility. International investors also read this report to understand how honest India is about its own economy. Now the question is, why is it presented before the budget? Think about it. If the budget came first and the economic survey later, what would happen? Then the survey would become a document defending the budget. But when the survey comes first, it creates a neutral ground. Parliament and the public already know the real condition of the economy. Then the budget is debated. Did the government respond correctly to these challenges or not? The economic survey is often called the economy's report card. But it is not just a numbers game. It also contains a future outlook. That means it discusses what risks the economy may face in the coming year. Global slowdown, geopolitical tensions, oil prices, climate change. At the same time, it also points out opportunities. Manufacturing shifts, the digital economy, green energy. In recent years, the economic survey has popularized many interesting concepts. Sometimes it talked about animal spirits. Sometimes about a V-shaped recovery. Sometimes it explained the economic logic of Atmanirbhar Bharat. These concepts later become part of policy debates. In other words, the survey does not just report. It also sets the narrative. Why is the economic survey important for the common person? Because this report shows which problems the government is acknowledging. If the survey clearly says unemployment is a challenge, then questioning the budget on jobs becomes justified. If concern over inflation is expressed, people understand that the government is not unaware of this pain. For investors, this report is a roadmap. Which sectors have growth potential? which sectors may get policy support. These signals come from here. Many times, movements in the stock market start appearing on the very day of the economic survey, because big players begin their future positioning from this point itself. If we look at history, the tradition of the economic survey in India has existed since independence. Earlier, it was considered part of the budget, but around the 1960, the practice of presenting it as a separate document began. The objective was clear: to keep analysis separate from announcements. This separation of analysis and policy shows India's fiscal maturity. Today, in a global world where India calls itself the fastest growing major economy, its credibility is built through documents like the Economic Survey. The IMF, World Bank, and rating agencies all rely on such official assessments. But one thing is clear: the Economic Survey is not a magic book that gives all the answers. It shows the direction, not the path. Deciding the path is the job of the budget and policies. And this is where the real test of democracy lies. Does the government face the truth shown in the survey, or does it ignore it? So the next time, one day before the budget, news of the economic survey runs on TV, don't ignore it thinking it is a boring government report. Hidden in it is the signal of tomorrow's budget, the story of the economy in the coming year, and the foundation of decisions linked to your pocket. Because the budget is a one-day event, but the economic survey is the truth of an entire year. And in a democracy, the earlier the truth comes out, the stronger the decisions become. That is why the economic survey before the budget is not just important, it is essential.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.